I'm Ramakrishnan. One of the constant themes of your writings is this idea of Purva Paksha. So I just wanted to ask you, in your research, where do you find that we have lagged, where we have started lagging behind in Purva Paksha, because of which we are in this situation today?
So there's a chapter in this book called The Death of Purva Paksha. I don't believe in the death of Sanskrit, but I believe the death of Purva Paksha. Because in the earlier times, every school of thought used to do Purva Paksha on other schools of thought, understanding it on their terms, giving a Uttar Paksha response. But somehow, when the early Christians came in the Malabar coast, there was no serious Purva Paksha of Christianity and their political structure, their economic structure, social structure. Nobody bothered to do that. At least we don't know of any. So 1,000 years later, when the Portuguese came, we really had no idea who these people are. And the Vijayanagar Empire had a vice admiral on the Malabar coast who invited Albuquerque, the Portuguese, to come and help him fight another Indian king. One king invited the Portuguese navy to help him fight the other king, not knowing who these people are, what's the grand scheme, and what will be the end game for them. Short term, he'll help you fight your enemy. Long term, he'll finish off both of you and rule over both of you. We never understood that. So this happened. Even when the Portuguese came, no Indian said, okay, now let's send anthropologists to Europe, let's send theologians to Europe, let's send historians, and let's do Purva Paksha on them in their headquarters. Like they're doing, constantly studying us. And we are so proud they're studying us, but they're studying us for a reason. Yeah, we never send people over there to study them, because even in the 1500s, 1600s, if we had 200 years before the British established, if we had understood the Western culture, the Western church, what they're all about, the whole project of world conquest, that how Christianity first took over one continent after another, if we had really mapped out the Purva Paksha of what they're doing, maybe when the East India Company came, maybe we would have been more vigilant. Similarly with Islam, from the 7th century, 8th century Sindh, till 400-500 years later coming to Delhi. We're talking about 500 years before they reached Delhi. But we've never really done a good Purva Paksha of them. There is no big teaching about who these people are and what's their ideology and so on. Either we're very arrogant, that we are too smart, we just know too much. Even now people tell me, why are you worrying about them? Truth is in my heart, sir. This arrogance that I don't need to understand them, they're inferior people, is one problem. Another is bombastic dismissal, that this whole anger and is insulting them rather than taking them seriously. Purva Paksha requires you take your opponent seriously. You don't dismiss them, nor do you fall in love and have them in awe. You have a very equal relationship and say, okay, you are smart, you are intelligent, you're clever, I respect you, but I really want to study you, I really want to figure you out. Like a clinical doctor looking at some details of some issue. So the Purva Paksha tradition, loss of the Purva Paksha tradition is my theory of why Indian civilization went down. We were fine as long as we were able to study others, but the moment we stopped studying others, we stopped being competitive.